speech, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Honourable Member Shri Anubhav Mohanty.
Thank you, sir. So, on behalf of my party, Biju Janata Dal, I would like to appreciate the innovations and interventions in the field of shipping, ports and waterways and their need for their continuous development, as they play a pivotal role in economic development of a nation that has a coastline of about 7,500 kilometers, sir. I would like to go back in history and highlight how old our maritime routes are. It dates back to the Harappan civilization, sir. Vedic texts have several references to naval and commercial expeditions and sea voyages which our ancestors undertook. Indian ships in the ancient times and sea voyages which our ancestors undertook. Indian ships in the ancient times sailed to the distant shores of Africa and Arabia in the west and harbors of Southeast Asia in the east. In fact, sir, that ancient eastern coast trade route is still celebrated in the form of Bali Yatra in my state, Odisha, sir. I would like to highlight a few important issues and bring them to the notice of the ministry so that sustainable growth, inclusive development, productivity, enhancement, increased logistical connectivity and financing of investments is taken care of. While the emphasis on PM Gati Shakti and the government's national master plan for multimodal connectivity is laudable, the current budgetary allocation seems misaligned with this intent, sir. The demand for grants for this year has not grown much from the last year's allocation, a tepid increase of just rupees 7 crore overall from the 1,702 crores in the budget estimates last year to the 1,709 crores this year. So this brings forth the concern that the ministry is perhaps somewhere failing to consistently utilize the funds being allocated to it, sir, which is leading to lower and stagnant budgets year after year. As a global superpower, our port connectivity and water-based infrastructure is as important as our roads and other infrastructure, sir. To that extent, a stagnant budgetary allocation does not correctly represent India's ambition as a water superpower and should be improved in certain areas. Sir, I would like to list some of them through you before Honourable Minister, sir. So, Sagarmala program, our government's flagship project to improve logistics across the country and to use waterways and develop coastlines to facilitate the movement of goods at minimal cost, has not been given the boost required to truly propel its growth. The demand for Sagarmala grants and capital expenditure is merely rupees 412 crores, sir, which is barely more than a revised estimate of last year. Similarly, out of the 44 projects under Sagarmala, no funds have been issued for 31 projects. Such delay in issue of funds will lead to inefficiencies, which will only further increase the cost in the future. With such limited resources, the ministry will be forced to act more conservatively, which may stall the growth and progress and evolving fast-paced infrastructure that Sagarmala set out to achieve. This brings me to another point under this topic, sir. So there has been no demand raised for allocation of funds to the Sagarmala Development Company. Even in the revised estimates of last year, rupees 100 crore had been allocated to SDCL. SDCL has been involved in various strategic investments of the government in the past, and even now has been entrusted by ministry to focus on conducting detailed studies to suitably modify the national perspective plan for CEZ, which is Coastal Economic Zones. No investment in SDCL further shows the government's reluctance to use the entity to create SPVs and speed up the process of achieving the goals Sagarmala has set out to do. So my second point is minor ports and R&D funds. Our country has a vast coastline, and uniform progress of the goal of Gati Shakti can only be seen if minor ports are given equal weightage of attention as the other ports in the country are being. They already face tough competition from private ports, and now considering that the budget demand for improvement of minor ports is nearly zero, sir. A sharp drop from last year's allocation. Where the BE was nearly rupees 134 crore, minor ports are likely to come under considerable hardship, sir. The budget could have been used to further modernize these ports and make them important logistical bases in the connectivity scheme. Earlier little piece masters in the jigsaw and ignoring our minor ports may be a crucial miss by the government. This problem is intensified by only a token demand of rupees 1 crore for research and development of ports, while we all know that investing in cutting-edge research and best practices is the hallmark of any growing economy. This problem is echoed in the case of shipbuilding R&D, as while BE 2022-23 is 11 crore higher than the RE 2021-22, yet still 38 crores less in comparison to the actual expenditure in 2020-21, sir. I hope more funds are allocated under these headings, as it will only bolster the system and keep us modern and in line with global development. The government needs to ramp up finance for research and development across the industry, sir. So, decrease in IEBR for Paradip Port Trust. So, for the last few years, Paradip Port has given the authority, the Arch Port has given the authority to raise their own capital resources from the market through IEBR, which is internal and extra budgetary resources. However, the allocations for this, especially in the case of Paradip Port, has decreased from rupees 206 crore under actual expenditure of 2021-22 to only rupees 162 crores under the current demand, sir. Paradip is one of the best and most functional and active ports in the entire country. As clear from cargo growth and its corporate social responsibility contributions, which have been increasing years after year, sir, as still one of the fastest growing ports and one that handles a bulk of the cargo on the eastern seaboard, providing more headroom in the form of increased IEBR, could have allowed the port to grow further. So my next point is delay in obtaining environmental clearance. This is very, very crucial, sir. A vast number of projects sanctioned in 2018 are still awaiting EC. And even projects sanctioned in 2016-2017 are yet to begin the process as of 2021. I urge upon the government, through you, sir, to intensify efforts on this front while maintaining all environmental standards so that the benefits of sustainable development can be achieved. So the next is increase in cargo handling capacity with a minor increase in traffic handles. In the past few years, we have been very successful in increasing the cargo handling capacity of both major ports and non-major ports also. In fact, cargo handling capacity of major ports in the country has increased about 79% between the years 2014-2015 and 2020 and 21, with an annual growth rate of 10.2%, while non-major ports have increased by about 52%. However, this rapid increase in the cargo handling capacity has not been reflected in the actual traffic being handled at the ports. There has been only a minor increase in traffic handles. For instance, in major ports, only 16% between 2015-2016 and 2019-2020, and in non-major ports, around 30% between 2015-16 and 2019-20. To further to the same example, sir, while the capacity of major ports in million tons per annum has increased from 700 tons approximately in 2011-2012 to more than 1,500 tons in 2020-21, the traffic in million tons has remained at around 600 tons, more or less the same figure it was 10 years back, long back, sir. The government should bring in new policies to ensure that ports and their available capacities are promoted, incentivized, and fast-tracked so that maximum capacity available is used on a regular basis. Some other crucial points, sir, I'll finish very quickly, sir. Only about 63% of the funds allocated on the head capital outlay on inland water transport for financial year 2021 and 22 have been spent till 7th February 2022. Out of the RE 2021-22 allocation of rupees 410 crores under the head Directorate General of Lighthouse and Lightships, the ministry has only been able to spend rupees 280 crores, that is about 68% of the total allocation till 7th of February.
Yes. So
the financial allocation under National Oil Spill, Disaster Contingency Plan and Green Port Initiative is unclear. I'll conclude, sir. Sir, this is something, sir, which I would like to end with a very special and genuine request on behalf of 4.5 crore Odias and my party Biju Janata Dal. So not directly related, although, to the demand for grants, but I want to request, which I have been saying again and again in this House, and many of my colleagues, both in Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, have repeatedly been saying this. So I would like to request Honourable Minister through you of Ministry of Shipping to rename the Paradip Port after legendary Biju Patnaik, sir. Sir, Paradip Port is the brainchild of late Sri Biju Patnaik. He envisioned it as the gateway to Odisha's prosperity. He braved immense struggles like non-availability of road communication, electricity, and rejection of proposal by Planning Commission for building an express highway connecting mining areas of Keonjhar and Sukinda. Determined Biju Babu had an inward... Yes, sir. I'm concluding,
Please.
sir. Concluding, sir. Thank you for giving me a lot of time to speak, sir, because this is really very, very genuine matter, and particularly this matter is very emotionally connected to Odisha, sir. And I'm sure everyone will agree with me. Biju Babu cannot be limited within Odisha only or India. He's an international figure, a daredevil. So he braved immense struggles like non-availability of road communication, electricity, rejection of proposal by Planning Commission, and determined Biju Babu had an inward impelling faith that once the construction of the port and expressway was completed, he could influence the center to convert them into central projects. That he did and could. Such was the daredevil spirit of our legendary Biju Babu. He has immensely contributed to the freedom struggle and ushering in development through industrialization in India. As a chief architect of modern Odisha, he has founded many innovative projects, including Paradip Port, which has become one of the largest ports in the country and #1 handling cargo in 2020. From 2008, we have been requesting the Union Ministry for this tribute. Against all odds, Biju Babu created the Paradip Port. Renaming it after him would be a befitting tribute to him. Odisha's rich maritime history and honor sentiments of 4.5 crores ODR. So please, it's an humble request through you with folded hands, sir. Kindly let us not delay this request. We have been demanding for Bharat Ratna for Biju Babu. We have been demanding for the renaming of Paradip Port in the name of Biju Babu since many years. I request Honourable Minister would really feel comfortable to answer this on this while he is replying. Thank you so much, sir. Jai Hind.